we're going to go ahead and look at some videos about how you have Donald Trump talking about the deportation of many illegals.
Another group of people, the estimated 4 million families in America who have mixed immigration status. So I'm talking about parents who might be here illegally, but the kids are here legally. Your borders are.
You're talking about separation?
Yeah, well, I mean, there are two aspects to this. Your border czar, Tom Homan, said they can be deported together.
Correct.
Is that the plan?
Well, that way you keep well, I don't want to be breaking up families, so the only way you don't break up the family is you keep them together, and you have to send them all back.
Hay mucha migra y todos están cayendo. No les recomiendo cruzar porque hay un chingo de...
And what I will say before we go to the next video is notice how there were a lot of, I only saw only men. What happened to the children? Where are the women? Because only dudes up in here, which I find to be quite interesting.
Did you know that when the Mexicans are deported from the United States and they go back to Mexico, they're going to get free rent and they're going to get free food? On Mexican state national news in Spanish in Mexico, they just announced, because they're ones that are being deported say they're broke, that they're going to get free rent, a place to live, and free food. And the locals are pissed. In the comments section, it blew up, and they let everybody know how they feel. They said, those are the criminals that went over there. Now they're going to come back, and the crime's going to come back. And you're going to give them free rent and free food? What happened to all the money that they had over there when they were doing all of their social media saying, look at what I got with my little debit card, and they were buying all that stuff, eating shrimp and lobster all the time, and now they're coming back saying we broke, and the government's like, okay, we'll help you out so you can get back on your feet, and the locals are not having it. They don't want them to have all that. They don't want their tax dollars to go to them. They don't want to feed them, they don't want to house them, and they don't want the crime to come back. What the fuck? Yeah, that's what's happening in Mexico right now.
That sounds like essentially what a lot of Americans were saying before, right? Like, okay, our tax dollars are going towards this. This is happening over here. They're getting their debit cards.
But one of the things you are doing is an experimental program to provide debit cards with cash on the card. This has created enormous controversy in the city among some taxpayers who say, why are we paying and giving out this money to these migrants, and isn't this only going to encourage more migrants to come to New York?
And the reason it's creating such controversy is because how it has been reported and distorted. Here's what we're doing. We are required to feed migrants and asylum seekers as well as everyone else in our homeless system. About 40,000 are in the homeless system that are not migrant and asylum seekers. We're required to feed them. And so what I told the team to do is we have to find a way to do it that's less costly, because we want a 30% decrease in the cost of the migrant crisis, and that we don't have food waste. We were able to do that. We're saving approximately $600,000 a month, $7.2 million a year by giving individuals a card that allows them to buy food or baby supplies, spending $13 a day on food. That's cheaper, that's less food waste. This is a real win-win for us. And the money will go into the local economy, because now we go into the local stores, supermarkets, where we're going to hire local. This is a smart way to bring down the cost and replace the money back into our city.
But yeah, so essentially it's just, hey, we're going to go and have our tax dollars go to house these people, especially Chicago, New York, California was giving them universal health care, which I didn't think we even had in America, even though we've been begging for it, but they didn't give it to us. They're getting IDs without passports and birth certificates and all this other stuff. Then you had missing children. That whole thing was going on as well, because they were being sent to a sponsor family and then they just poof disappeared. So I guess I'm a little confused. Okay. So now You have people saying, you know what, I'm good on that. You know what I mean? It was cute here. I mean, it was cute in the States. I mean, we're fine with that happening, but you're gonna bring the crime here? So that also shows, like I said, just looking at that one video. Granted, obviously you had women, kids, men, of course. But with that one video right there, it was all men. Where are all the women at? You can't tell me every woman that came across the border had a kid. Because why is the man not there right there with them? You know what I mean? So that's the thing. And I'm looking, I'm like, oh, there's a lot of crime going on too. Not saying everyone's a criminal, obviously. But you're seeing a lot of people do commit crime. One, you already committed a crime by coming over here that the government sponsored. So there's that. But not only that, you also were committing crimes, raping, unaliving. I hate using that term, but I guess you got to use it. Raping, unaliving people. You're over here stealing from stores, beating people up, punching cops in the face. I said, so if y'all could do all this, I guess I'm a little confused. You got gang bangers, Venezuelan cartel members up in Colorado. I'm just like, I guess I'm a little confused how this is just okay to be going on. And no one's supposed to say anything because I also don't want my money to go towards war either. And then now it's like, oh, you don't want to protect the nation. You know what I mean? So I find this to be quite interesting, but let me know what you think down below.